Hey, and welcome to our second lesson. This one will highlight post-World War II effects on migration and the impact that it had on Australia. So by the end of this lesson, you will know the factors that contribute to the movement of people around the world, not just after World War II, but still today, and also understand how these push and pull factors contribute to the migration trends in Australia from Europe after World War II. And again, don't forget, take out your pen, take some notes, and ask some questions. Okay, our two focus questions for this session and for our lesson are: how do push and pull factors contribute to the migration trends of people around the world? And also, more specifically, what part did Australia play during post-World War II immigration? Okay, before we begin, we need to clarify some of the vocab. Firstly, migration. Migration is the movement of people from one area to another, whether it's internal within a country or international between countries. There's four predominant reasons why people migrate. The first one is economical. It's about money, it's about employment. The second one's environmental. The environment that they live in is not desirable. There's the social aspect, and the relationships between people in the community, and also political reasons, and to do with their government. Some migration is made by choice. A family might choose to move to another country for a better lifestyle, or they may be forced out, either by natural disasters or war, or another reason. Now, the difference between emigration and immigration. So emigration, if you think of the letter E for exit, is when someone leaves the country, and immigration, again, think of the letter I for into. It's when someone moves into the country. So emigration is out of the country, and immigration is moving into a country. Okay, we also have what's called push and pull factors. By definition, it's pretty straightforward. So a push factor are conditions that drive movement of people away from the home, whereas a pull factor is a condition that attracts the movement of people to a place. There are a whole range of push and pull factors, ranging from unemployment, lack of services, poor safety or security, and caused by war or poverty, concern about high crimes, crop failures, droughts, floodings, poverty, earthquakes, whole different reasons. They each are polarized. So, for example, with a push factor of unemployment, there is a pull factor of potential employment. The push factor for war balances with a pull factor of peace. And so there's some of the reasons, the push and pull factors for people's movement to and from countries. So what caused migration after World War II? We've already covered the horrible effects the war and discrimination had on people of Europe. When World War II officially ended in 1945, it left a deeply divided Europe and the world into two blocks. You had the Eastern Soviet bloc that followed a communist authoritative idea of government, and states in the Western bloc that followed capitalist democratic ideas. So most European industries had been destroyed as a result of the war and because of the diversion of those jobs and production to the war effort. In other words, Europe had spent all its money and effort on building materials and weapons for the war, and as a consequence, after the war, many countries were bankrupt. Now, in 1947, America instigated the Marshall Plan, which included economical support to its allies in Europe so that they could rebuild. Now, it took 60 years for some of these countries to repay that loan. Now, as a result, European citizens emigrated to other countries in the hope of a better life. So waves of immigrants came to Australia in this period under different government policies and programs, such as the Populate or Perish program. Another one, the £10 POM scheme, gave assistance to British citizens to move to Australia. Non-British people also migrated to Australia under the Displaced Persons Migration Scheme. So migrants immigrated from Greece, Italy, the Baltic states, and Malta. By 1949, Australia accepted any European immigrant provided they were under 45 years of age and not a communist. Between the 1950s and the 1970s, Australia had a policy of assimilation, which basically stated that any immigrant to Australia could keep their cultural identity in their private lives as long as they followed Australian law and behaviours in public. So in class, next lesson, we're going to investigate different perspectives of immigration over the last 70 years. Our focus question will be, how have ideas about immigration changed over the last 70 years? So that brings us to the end of this session. So hopefully now you know a little bit about the contribution, the factors that contribute to people moving around the world, and in particular those push and pull factors contributing to migration trends in Australia from Europe after World War II. I'll see you in class. Have a good day.